Miniature Market has thousands of board games at discounted prices. Click the direct link below for Waterfall Park or any other game. Hello my friends, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Today we are building a waterfall park. We're putting all sorts of different attractions in there like bowling alleys and circuses and clowns and ice cream shops. And we are trying to build the best thing and make the most money. This is pretty much a pure negotiation game. This is a re-implementation of an older game called Chinatown. So let me show you how it works and I'll see you on the other side. In Waterfall Park, you're going to be building different attractions into the Waterfall Park. And you're trying to put these adjacent to each other. This is the same one. So if you have a bowling alley, you're going to want to put the same bowling alley like this in multiple adjacent spots. And this tells you how many the maximum is to get a full set. So you need 5 of these bowling alleys adjacent to each other, all owned by you to have a full set. Where the ice cream shop, you only need 3. So some of them you only need 3, some of them you need 4, some you need 5. And you're trying to, again, have the same attraction, be large, be full to the fullest that you can, and they all need to be adjacent to each other, and they all need to be owned by you in order to get the most money. For example, here's the beautiful, bright, and vibrant board, and you can see there's different numbers, but you can also see that like 37 is adjacent to 47, 48, 38, 28, 27, 36, for example. For example, I'm the red player. You look at the bases. I have these locations, and I have the bowling alleys in all of these. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have a full set of bowling alleys because I own them, the red. They're all at least adjacent in a thing like this. There you go. The green player is starting to work on clowns here. Now, another player could actually start working on bowling alleys, but they would be separate from ours. So that's pretty much how adjacency works and what you're trying to do. Because the game is only 4 rounds long, at the end of each round, you're going to be getting income. And so that bowling alley was a size of 5. And so if you have a complete set of something that's 5, you're going to get 12 bucks. But if I had 4 of the 5, I'd get 7. 3 of the 5, 5, and so on and so forth. So full sets is always going to get you the most. Like, you know, if we have 2, if there's one that's 3, the full set gets us 6. But if we have 2 of the 3, it's only getting us 3. Likewise, if we have 4 of the 5 of the bowling alley, we get 7, but we'll get 12 if we get that last one. So you're always trying to get those full sets. Now again, the game is played over 4 rounds, and each round you're going to get a certain amount of cards, which are going to tell you which locations that you get, and then you're going to get some tiles, and those are the ones that you'll be using here to possibly be placing. So this is different scales for player count. This is for a 4-player game. So for example, you're going to get 6 cards, and you have to discard 2 of them. So it's very simple. You get the 6 cards, you look at them, it actually shows you the number, where it is on the location, and then the first round you're just trying to get things that are kind of close to each other. So 62 and 64 definitely want that, 13, 12 want that. Maybe I get rid of the 2 and the 80 for now. Now anything we get discarded gets shuffled back into the deck for next round, so just because I throw out 80 now doesn't mean it's out of the game forever. It might come back later. And in future rounds, your decisions will be more meaningful because you'll be looking at things that maybe is not next to you, but is next to something or somebody that really else needs it, and that's going to be a good bargaining chip for your negotiation. Because after everyone has gotten their cards and discarded a certain amount, 2 in this case, everyone's going to get the 5 tiles, and then you're going to flip them up and start negotiating. I wanted to show you that each player comes with this cool little contraption that holds all their pieces, makes it easy to pick up and clean up. So let's say I got my 5 tiles, and let's say this is what I've got, right? So obviously I'm going to probably try to get these teddy bears, right? I'm going to try to get a 3rd one for a full set. But I'm also going to be negotiating other things. So here's my tiles, but everyone else's tiles you can see that's in front of them, and you're going to be doing negotiations. For example, I really want this green spire, the 63, because that'll let me have 3 in a row where I can put the full set of teddy bears once I get them. So maybe I want 63. Now I don't have to give up the farm for it because if I got, you know, this one and this one, or this one and this one later, I could still get it, but this would be the quickest way to get that. Remember, you're going to be getting money every round, so the earlier you make your sets, the better. So maybe I'm negotiating like, hey, I really want 63. What do you want to give me for it? Well, maybe you do money. Maybe you trade, you know, some tiles and stuff back and forth. Or maybe Green's like, you know what, I'll give you that 63 if you give me this 12, because then they're going to get 3. So it's all negotiations. You can negotiate your locations, you can swap them. Even if there's a tile in your location, the tiles can never move once they're placed, but you can swap this. You can say, you know what, I own this teddy bear, but now you do. You can put yours here. So you can do that too, and you know, once things are placed, because once you're done negotiating, players are going to place their tiles where they want, but you're not placing all of them if you don't want to. Because A, you might not have enough spots on the board to place these, but B, you might not want to place them because if they're just by themselves, they get you a coin. It might be worth it for you to keep this and wait to see what you get next round along with what other players get, because these might be worth definitely more than a coin to other players. So in a nutshell, that's the game. You're literally trying to get full sets of everything. You're trying to be adjacent with your stuff. You're negotiating away locations or money or tiles that you haven't yet placed that people need. All those sorts of things to make money. In each round, again, you're going to be getting a different amount of cards and different amount of tiles depending on the amount of players. At the end of the fourth round, whoever's the most money is the winner. Okay, let me just start by saying this is a big improvement on Chinatown. I had played the most recent version of Chinatown that had come out a handful of years ago, and I didn't love it. It was too long for what it was. It was just kind of frustrating. Part of the negotiations were kind of stalematey. You could see everything perfectly. It just didn't hit me, even though I love negotiation games. Okay, so this thing comes along, and yes, huge improvement on everything. The beautiful, vibrant art. The board just looks so nice on the table, and all the different tiles, once things start getting built, it just looks so nice on the table. Much better than that dark and dingy sort of Chinatown board that used to be. The plastic bases was brilliant production choice here, where you put them in the board, they've got little holes, it has little nuts. It keeps them there, so as you're moving tiles around or you're placing things, they don't get all mixed up and pushed around. Like, it stays where it's supposed to stay. And from a gameplay perspective, it makes things a lot easier because there's going to be a lot more things adjacent to each other than there was in the original Chinatown, because it's not just squares next to squares. They're sort of like offset, so there's many other things that are touching. So this is a great idea from the production there. I love that this is very streamlined. I mean, I love negotiation games, and this is about as streamlined as it gets when it comes to negotiation games. I mean, you're going to be getting cards, decide which ones you want to keep and where you want to place your things. You don't have to worry about buying the spots or anything like that. You just keep numbers of cards, put things down, get tiles, negotiate, place tiles. Like, that's it. 4 rounds of that, whoever has the most money wins. It's a really simple thing. 4 rounds, I think, is perfect game length for this. The original Chinatown, I believe, was 6 rounds. It was usually 90-ish minutes. It was too long for what kind of game it was. This, they made it to the point where it still feels like you have a full game, but it's quick. 45 minutes, 4 rounds is absolutely perfect. I also like that there are 2 full sets of each attraction. So if you see the bowling alleys, it's possible that someone could get, or that between all players, 2 full sets of bowling alleys could get made. But it's not guaranteed. And I like that because you may or may not get that. Now, this is both positive and negative. It's positive because in Chinatown, everything was open, perfect knowledge. You knew exactly how much something was going to give someone between now and the end of the game, and it made the negotiations not quite as interesting and very stalematey. It's kind of hard to do. With this, without knowing for sure if a full set is made of a bowling alley and someone has 3 or 4 of them and the 5th one's not out yet, they don't know if the 5th one's going to be coming out. So your negotiations have a little bit of unsurety there. And so that adds a little bit of interesting things to the negotiation where it's not always perfect knowledge. That's the positive side. The negative side of the thing is you can get kind of hosed just randomly at the end. But the original, the Chinatown, they only had enough to get 1 set, and everyone knew that. Here you actually at least have a chance to get a second set. I think it was an improvement to the game. I like that this has open negotiation with future promises that don't have to be kept. Those are always fun in games. On the negative side of things, things have a pretty obvious value, as I mentioned in this game. And as negotiation games go, this has much more obvious values than probably any other negotiation game I've played, I think. And so this can cause standoffs where you can pretty much math out how much this thing is worth to you, and then it's just a matter of whether I can get it to you for what is a fair deal. And it's a lot more exact in this than it is nebulous in some other negotiation games. But it's not as bad as the original Chinatown. So that might be, I still like a little bit more nebulous stuff in my negotiation games, but again, because they added the possible second sets, it helps it a lot in this game. Also, 3 players isn't nearly as challenging because you're getting more locations, more cards, and it's a lot easier to sort of luck into sets where the negotiation doesn't mean as much as it did in the higher player count game. So for me, where it really shines is the 4 or 5 player game. You can play it with 3, it's fine, but it doesn't sing or shine as well as the 4 or 5 player game. Well, that has been Waterfall Park. This has been Game Boy Geek, breaking down barriers, growing relationships with board games, by helping you find the next one you love. Game Toppers upgrades every game you play, and if you missed their 4.0 Kickstarter, you can still late pledge and take advantage of over 40 unlocked stretch goals and early fulfillment. This campaign featured a new Young Sherlock table, perfect for children's gaming, and movable coffee table, 10 new thematic mats by top artists like Vincent Dutray, a new designer art series Minecraft topper with thematic art from Brent Woodside, and some of the best package deals they've had, including game mat bundles. Go to GameToppersLLC.com or click the link below to late pledge now.